Swallowed Star 505 Dishonorable. Chapter 505 Dishonorable. Rock Win Xiong, his teacher, was a world-level sector lord who controlled the surrounding 1 billion kilometers area, Xiyong. Even though the strong were like the clouds here in Blood River World, a sector lord was still a very terrifying existence. Rock Win Xiong, being under Xiyong, had very high perspectives and vision. With just one look, he understood that this mysterious warrior was a genius person with high achievements in space origin laws, able to produce up to 100 images. Just a universe level 9 and so powerful. It's simply too. Rock Win Xiong understood that if such a genius were to be discovered by the Undying Shrine, he would definitely be treated as an absolute elite and nurtured. It's a pity that he's the enemy. The more terrifying the enemy, the better it is to eliminate him earlier. Rock Win Xiong stood on the ground with the sledgehammers in his hand motionless. And Luo Feng, who had unleashed his close combat messy void technique, was suspicious. He is after all a domain lord too. Just based on his pure genetic energy and explosive speed, he could very likely survive my attack. Why isn't he moving? While suspicious, Luo Feng began to grow wary within. Hua, 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 hua. Over 100 peculiar blade techniques melded with the spread-out gold domain, causing the space around to follow the blade work. In an instant, there was nothing but flashes of blades, almost like the entire space was a dance floor. It was completely pressuring that Rock Win Xiong. While pressuring him, it shrank more. The blade work condensed on him too. Rock Win Xiong was trapped within. It was almost like he was trapped in a little house and was being slashed at by large amounts of blade flashes. This technique from Time Scribbles didn't have a name. Messy Void was a name he gave it himself. Ha ha ha! A loud laugh resounded. Rock Win Xiong stood his ground, almost as though he was admiring Luo Feng's performance. Rise! Rock Win Xiong's lips curled into a smile. Simultaneously, assassination weapons rose from all around him. At least 1,000 of them completely covering Rock Win Xiong. Every one of them under the flashes of lightning gleamed like dazzling metals. The arc blade edge was terrifying. What? Luo Feng's expression changed greatly. He had initially wanted to rely on speed to kill him. However, how could he compete with the speed of spirit weapons? That was suicide. Go! Rock Win Xiong waved. Immediately the blur of countless weapons covered the skies and shot in all directions. Even though the 100-thread movement was very shocking, making one unable to accurately deduce the person's position, however, with countless weapons shooting in all directions, it definitely spelled trouble. Although, using such quantity would diminish the power. However, the enemy was Domain Lord level 2. Any one of those weapons could easily kill a normal universe level 9. Dang! Dang! Luo Feng's movement was unpredictable. However, the number of weapons shot at him was simply too many. Wielding the 6-edged shield, he continuously blocked 10 of them. Even though he managed to deflect them away, they still affected his movement. Ha ha! Rock Win Xiong's laugh continued. The rest of his dancing weapons all curved and simultaneously headed towards Luo Feng. The air trembled and split apart, as up to 1,000 assassination weapons shot at him. Luo Feng's expression grew heavy. His eyes were staring coldly at Rock Win Xiong. A formless consciousness pressure fiercely smashed into Rock Win Xiong's consciousness. Rock Win Xiong felt a pain in his head. The 1,000 assassination weapons, controlled by his consciousness, were immediately affected. Without the help of his spirit energy, the weapons swiftly slowed down due to the high air resistance and gravity. They still followed their course and shot towards Luo Feng. He, however, easily dodged them. Weapons capable of twisting and turning, compared to dumb straight-shooting weapons, naturally were much easier to dodge. Shua! Luo Feng dodged the weapons. Shua! Luo Feng rushed at Rock Win Xiong. Go and die! Luo Feng had already reached him. The blood shadow blade in his hand had already become an incomparably resplendent flash, cutting straight at Rock Win Xiong's chest. Killing a universe level and killing a domain lord were two completely different things. From student level to universe level, the soul was definitely within the consciousness. Hence the control chip could at most control up to a universe level. The highest slaves a slave trader could sell was a universe level. When it came to Domain Lord, however, the soul was in the Qi Dian. This was also named the life core. Like Luo Feng, his Qi Dian and internal core had fused into one. Hence, his core was incredibly sturdy. This also meant that eventually breaking through from this internal core would thus be very hard. To kill a Domain Lord, one had to destroy the life core. However, this life core could be stored in any part of the body. It could be within the head area, consciousness, at the dantian, or even in the arms, chest, etc. anywhere. Hence, to kill a Domain Lord, the first thing was to determine where the life core was located. Due to the consciousness attack earlier, Luo Feng had determined the position already. Dang! A gold light hit Luo Feng's blade. Trouble. Luo Feng's expression changed. He could see the gloomy and mad Rock Wind Xiong. Luo Feng's consciousness was considered Domain Lord Pinnacle, and Rock Wind Xiong too was Domain Lord level. Even though it was weaker than his own, it was still at Domain Lord level. That one attack only managed to shock him temporarily. Consciousness pressure, only when the level difference was huge, would the effect be obvious. Humph. Rock Wind Xiong looked angrily at Luo Feng. Simultaneously around him were 3 gold lights that surrounded his body and then shot at Luo Feng together. So troublesome. A fighter against a spirit reader would naturally be at a disadvantage. But to meet a spirit reader a few levels above me, Luo Feng knew that he couldn't win anymore. No matter how strong his comprehension of the origin laws were, and how powerful his movement was, as long as there was an army of different types of spirit weapons that attacked, there may still be a chance. However, if the opponent was a few levels above, how could he battle? Even the Golden Horned Beast, before training techniques like deities of the world, just using its natural talents, it could at most fight it out with an opponent 3 levels higher, and destroy humans that were 2 levels higher than itself. Shio! 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 3 golden lights as fast as lightning were shot out. Luo Feng's speed, no matter how fast it was, he still couldn't dodge them in time. One beam shot through Luo Feng's throat, piercing right through, and simultaneously the pressure from the shot caused his head to become a mess. Putong!
Liu Feng Vesh.
What terrifying consciousness! Just who is he? His consciousness is even stronger than mine, and his comprehension of the laws are so high. Rock Wind Xiong walked towards the body. He looked at it and was shocked. What a pity! A universe level 9 actually dared to come assassinate me. Such an attempt is just suicide. Let me see just who it is.
With a thought, he ripped apart the mask and lifted the mask to reveal the youth's face. How are you? The youth suddenly opened his eyes, his gaze somewhat apologetic. Rock Wind Xiong's eyes looked down. His chest had already been stabbed by a blade. It had pierced straight into his life core. It was a pity that his life core was but a normal human race's core, and was nowhere as perverted as that of a golden horned beast. Actually, countless human races' cores were weak and fragile. How could they possibly compare to the golden horned beast, which was born with an internal world? When the golden horned beast reaches Domain Lord level, its internal world spanned over 100,000 kilometers in area. This was much larger than Earth. And a normal human Domain Lord had just begun to nurture an internal world. To truly expand the world, one had to wait until Sector Lord level. To be able to support such a vast internal world, how could the internal core not be sturdy? A Domain Lord level 6 golden horned beast, even a powerful Domain Lord level 6 would have trouble breaking its core. Just like back then when Hong and Thunder God entered the golden horned beast's body, immolating their souls using the pike and blade to attack its core, yet they couldn't break it. A pinnacle Sector Lord golden horned beast was invincible amongst the Sector Lords. After all, it had 3 powerful natural abilities, along with its inherited memories. However, even with all these heaven-sent benefits, there would be a downside. This is also why many generations of golden horned beasts were all getting stuck at the pinnacle of Sector Lords, unable to break through. Rock Wind Xiong stared wide-eyed. At the same time, his body knelt down as fresh blood was flowing from his chest. You stand right in front of me without the slightest amount of vigilance. The moment I attacked you, you couldn't even react. Luo Feng stood up. His throat was already without a trace of the previous injury. He placed his mask back on, as revealing his identity may affect Nabu and his son Naku. Through his revealed eyes, he looked at Rock Wind Xiong's body. I don't blame you. I don't think many people would have thought that a universe level, even with his consciousness destroyed completely, would still be alive. Luo Feng looked at the body before him, shaking his head. At first he didn't want to use special abilities to kill his opponent, and wanted to rely only on his universe level 9 abilities to fight it out. However, he didn't expect Rock Wind Xiong to be a spirit reader. His final assassination felt a little dishonorable. It's a pity that I didn't bring the Nanshin armament. If I had the Nanshin armament, my strength would have been multiplied, and I would have a guarantee in killing him. Luo Feng shook his head. My earth body really isn't suited for close combat. Following which Luo Feng swiftly scanned the body and found his target, the space item. That's it. Luo Feng quickly discovered an inlaid decorative plate on his waist, and immediately took it down. This metal plate was the storage item. I hope there's Blood River crystals in here. The more the merrier. Luo Feng immediately used his spirit energy to pierce into it, and began searching. At this time, 1 kilometer area around the palace was in a complete mess. The palace was destroyed, the balcony was broken, stairways were reduced to nothing, especially in the most center. There was even Rock Wind Xiong's body, along with the black armored warrior standing there coldly with the plate in his hand. Not bad. Luo Feng revealed a smile. There's 2 crystals. Rock Wind Xiong had previously absorbed 1 crystal. Through various methods, he had acquired 2 more to probably increase his chance of becoming a blood warrior someday. Later he got 1 more, and gave that one to his little brother Rock Wind Zhan. Killing and robbing, vicious indeed. A cold voice resounded around the space. Luo Feng turned to look. In mid-air, there stood 2 gray armored silhouettes and their expressions were ugly.